is to have a willingness to be detached from the outcome. And that's one of the hardest lessons that writers have, and it's because we've all been taught that, you do things for a reason, and the reason that you do them is for the reward that's going to come to you. Like when you're writing, you're going to have a finished product, you're going to have a book, and then it's going to be something that other people are going to read, and then there's going to be reviews of it, and then it's going to be in bookstores, and then you're going to be able to make money off of it and get royalties, and on and on go. All of this gold at the end of the rainbow kind of thing, and so the whole focus is on the gold at the end of the rainbow, and you miss the rainbow, which is the multicolored experience and joy of sitting down and expressing what you're feeling deep inside of you, and being detached from what somebody else might say about it, or whether they might like it, or even what you might say about it, and whether you're going to like it or not. So there's this whole inbred sense of fear of I'm going to fail, or it's not going to look good, or somebody else is going to, put it down, or it's not going to sell, or, people will think it's silly, or whatever it means. And these endless things that you learn, these memes that you carry around with you, I'd recommend you read Excuses Be Gone, because it's like these internal mindset that we forget that when you go to a symphony, and you sit down to enjoy the symphony, the purpose of the symphony isn't to get to the end, and just have a conclusion, dun 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 dun, and then that's the end of it. The purpose of being in the audience and enjoying the symphony is not to get someplace else. It's to enjoy every single moment of the symphony, to enjoy all of the music instead of thinking about what it's going to be like when you're in. Similarly, it's when you're on a dance floor and you're dancing with your partner. The purpose of the dance isn't to get to the end and be in a certain place on the dance floor in a certain way. The purpose of the dance is to enjoy every step, to enjoy the music and the movement and so on. When you're eating a banana, I can go on with this metaphor forever. The purpose of eating the banana is not to get to the end of the thing and be done. It's to enjoy every bite along the way. And that's the way it has to be with the writing as well, is to get off of the focus of what's the outcome going to be, and what's it going to look like, and how is it going to appear, and how much am I going to make, and is it going to sell, and all of that. But to do it for the pure joy of expressing something inside of you that is calling you desperately to be expressed and to be released and to be a part of, of who you are. That's the lesson. That's really the lesson. So it's like, and that's what writer's block is. I don't ever experience writer's block, because if I sit down at my sacred space to write, and I don't feel like writing, then to me that's part of writing. And I just allow myself to just be there and to be in the state of being contemplative and just allowing myself to feel whatever feelings are taking place, whatever thoughts are taking place within me. And then sometimes what happens is all of a sudden it's automatic and you just start writing. Because I think all writing, by the way, is channeled. I don't think that we own any of these words. In fact, even these words that I'm saying as I sit here and these words come out of my mouth, I don't own these. I don't even know where they're coming from. I just allow myself to be an instrument of allowing these sounds to come out. And I feel the same way when I sit down to write, that I don't own this writing, and I don't own the way that the words are being expressed there. I'm just a channel for that. And if you tap into that channel, which is your impersonal self, your highest self, the God within you, it will do all of the writing. When I did, when I did the book Change Your Thoughts, Change Your Life, which was based on the teachings of Lao Tzu and the Tao, and then 81 essays on each of the 81 verses of the Tao, I had a photograph, or not a photograph, but a drawing of Lao Tzu sitting on an oxen. And I would sit there, and after 2 or 3 days of contemplating this particular verse of the Tao, I would just let it come through that painting that someone had sent me of Lao Tzu. And I always felt as if he was writing through me and expressing the ideas that he had written down 2,500 years ago, and helping me to express it in contemporary language so that people today can understand the great teachings that he offered us that came through him at the time of Confucius and in the time of the Warring States in China. And I do this all the time when I look at, particularly on Facebook, because I've got a couple of million people on there. So there's always people writing, things on there, making assumptions about who I am. or why I'm doing what I'm doing or whatever, that are just so far afield from anything that has anything to do with me that they don't even upset me. And the reason they don't upset me is because I don't carry around those kind of thoughts at all anymore. When they used to really upset me, I would say to myself, there's something in me that must believe part of that. Otherwise, I wouldn't even allow it to be a part of my consciousness.